Hello, hello. Hi. Welcome back to Muse. I'm your host, Damaris. This is the podcast where I'm talking all things creativity, personal growth, how these two things really mesh together and help me and hopefully you to really integrate what it means to live a creative, intentional life. And let's address the elephant in the room. I am 100% acknowledging that this episode is late once again. To be honest, I've been in the trenches a little bit this week. It's been a pretty difficult week, and if you don't follow me on my other social platforms, you don't know yet, but last week I did get laid off of my job, and it is supposed to be a temporary layoff, but it still was a shock, and I've kind of been trying to address and move forward with the work that I've already been working on and the projects that I've already been working on, and processing what it means to not have the stability of a full-time job. So there's a lot of stuff going on and it really has brought me to a place where I'm trying to stay consistent, to show up, and not be unmotivated by this big change, this transition. And I tend to get quite stuck when I'm in limbo, whenever I don't have a direction or there's this big shift or transition in my life that I don't personally make a choice to step into. I tend to become in this limbo state and trying to understand what comes next. And that's something that has been difficult for me this week, just trying to not get so caught up in where I'm going and to stay consistent in the things that I'm trying to finish and what's in the present moment. And because of that, I have been delayed in putting out this podcast episode because I'm trying to also finish my course. So I didn't want to release this episode until I finished the course and was able to, add the link, because this is something that I had said I was going to finish. I was going to be posting it on this episode, and I wanted to keep my word in that, but also struggling to show up. So I want to be here and state that I have finished the Creative Spiral course. Woo! Pow, 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 pow. I'm so fucking happy that this course is done. I'm really proud of this work. It's 28 pages of pure creative, strategic knowledge and prompts. And also I'm just so excited and relieved that it's done, that I've accomplished this. I've finished this really big project that was on my plate, and I can actually be relaxed and figure out in a more calm state what's next. And I actually already recorded this podcast and was going to edit it. But you know what? I wanted to re-record it because I'm in a totally different mindset than when I recorded it. And through all these changes and me going through this process of finishing the course and all this stuff, I just wanted to be honest and transparent of where I'm at and how I'm actually showing up on the pod and how I sound and all that jazz. So without further ado, let me tell you about the course. Okay, it's called the Creative Spiral Course, Your Guide Back to Creative Flow. So you're going to be reigniting your creativity and finish what you start. So if you can relate, if you can see that that is also very aligned and relevant to the things that I was going through this week, which is very interesting how I've been chatting about how things are so aligned with what I'm going through and what I'm talking about on the pod. It's kind of astounding. So who is this for? Why did I even create this course? Initially, when wanted to create the course, I was thinking of the version of me way back when, I'm thinking maybe 5, 6 years ago. I wanted to create something. I had been trying different outlets of creativity. I think I tried to get into jewelry, making macrame. I was sewing clothes. Yeah, I was just like trying different things because I have this desire to create. And I know that I'm a creative person. I know I'm an artist. And at the time, I was just feeling so overwhelmed of like how I was going to make this happen and what it's actually going to look like, and kind of just the bigger picture that I tend to get lost in, to be honest, of how much I want to create and how big I want it to be instead of just taking the steps to start creating and getting caught up in all the logistics and things like that. And at the time, I had finally come up with a plan. I do have a background in culinary arts, and I wanted to use that experience, that knowledge of cooking, and I was vegan at the time, so I wanted to create a vegan ebook cookbook. Started working on recipes. I just did everything on Canva and did like different photo shoots, trial and error, the recipes, and I started creating this ebook, and I did accomplish it, but I was having trouble on the other logistical aspects like website and marketing and all that stuff that comes with trying to put your creative work out there. And I was just kind of getting lost and caught up in that. I did end up finishing it, which made me feel really proud and that I finally stuck through something, but it didn't really take me anywhere. And before I started my pottery business, in between making this ebook and starting the pottery business, I was once again kind of like in this lost limbo state that I was talking about before, where I'm like, I knew that I wanted to create something, and I had done this other thing that didn't really take off, and I had completed it, which was cool, and I had this experience and this knowledge, but I didn't really know how to get back into creativity, how to take the next step into what that looked like for me. And I've always thought that creativity and like the way that I create is supposed to be linear. Like if I choose to do one thing, then I'm going to stick that out and forever be a vegan cookbook, whatever. And if I was going to be a potter and or ceramicist, then this is what I'm going to do, and I need to like show up in this until something else comes up. But like I'm doing this for the immediate future, and it's hard to see anything outside of that. And even though I knew pottery wasn't going to be in my life forever, well, actually, that's a lie. I knew that pottery was going to be in my life forever because I do love pottery, but like in the capacity that I was doing it, I was struggling. And going back to my question, because I totally digressed, who is this for? This course is for other creatives, for other artists that are wanting to come back to their creativity, wanting to come back to an idea, to actually creating an idea, to being in a state of flow again with idea building or with a specific project that you already have in mind. And you're struggling to come back to that work because, as you all know, there are different blocks, resistance, and things that kind of keep us in our head or, in our bodies where we're actually not taking action into the things that we want to pursue. So the big transformation that I want this creative course to achieve is to help you come back continually to your work. So it's basically steps, prompts that are going to help you work through what those blocks are, name them, move through them, reignite your fire and your spark, and create a way that when you get lost, again, which is inevitable, and life happens and we get distracted and our focus shifts from what we're prioritizing, that you're going to be able to have the tools to come back to your creative work when you need to, and then you can kind of come back to whichever part of the course that aligns with where you're at the time. So it's finally live. It's on the website. Man, I'm just so relieved and so excited to be sharing this project with you, which has taken me so much longer than I expected, and through all the ups and downs of my emotional and personal journey through the things that are happening in my life. So yeah, this is a really exciting time for me. I wanted this episode to just be, quick and just share, what's going on personally with me and why this has taken a little bit longer, and that I did finally complete it and I did stick it out, and it is possible to stick to your work and show up and do the work even when it's hard, because I'm taking my own advice and listening to the things that I've worked on through this course so that I can continually show up and move forward in my projects to the point that I have now completed it and can now share it with you all that maybe are going through the exact same situation or a similar situation to me. And I'm just so grateful that I am done and that I can share this. And yeah, I think it's going to benefit a lot of people. So how you'll find the course, I'm going to share it on my socials. I'm going to link it to this episode as well. Also the creative type quiz and the toolkits that I created. So this is kind of like all of it is kind of linked to helping you as a creative, as an artist, to get back to your work, get back to your creativity, get back into flow. And yeah, it's all going to be in the description in the show notes of this episode. You'll be able to find it also in any other links and socials. I just want to thank you so much for those of you that have been patiently waiting for this episode. I'm so freaking grateful for you, and I'm so happy that you are here and that you're sticking around and listening and supporting this podcast. And I hope that you can find value in the tools and the things that I have been creating and in this pod in general. I'm just so excited. I'm going to keep saying it, but I'm just so excited and happy and relieved that I can now share this course with you. I would love to hear your feedback if you have taken the quiz or you are thinking about doing the course or purchasing the toolkit. I think it would be great to have this conversation either on my other social platforms or on this pod as well. And yeah, it maybe you're not in a place where you want to take this course, or you don't really feel like the quiz is for you, but you might know someone that is kind of struggling in this area or is wanting to find tools and things like that maybe you can suggest these tools that I've created. So thank you so much once again. Have an amazing rest of your week, and we will see you next week on Monday with a new episode. It's a new season. It's July now, and yeah, we have a whole new theme for the month. So stay tuned for that. Have an amazing one. We'll chat soon. Bye. Oh, and keep creating. Keep creating, of course. Keep creating. We'll see you next week. Bye.